Welcome back, everyone. October 7th, 2022, and we are going to be under a earthquake watch. We are looking at the current SDO images of our sun at 304 angstroms, and you can see right here a grouping of sunspots is just about Earth facing and will continue to be that way for at least the next 24 to 48 hours. And even after that, this grouping of sunspots is capable of producing sun flares that, if erupt at any time, will be considered Earth facing. Jumping over to helioviewer.org, we can see that grouping of sunspots right here, a big broad area at 1600 angstroms. If I go ahead and hit the sunspot locator tab, we can see there is a grouping of 3 of these sunspots. That is what's making this more of an important warning than if we just had one sunspot Earth facing, which is capable of producing a ton of solar wind that would then in turn affect the Earth's magnetic field. And we know, especially on this channel, we have put tons of research into the fact that these sunspots and their release of the CME can in fact cause earthquakes, among other things. In fact, due to the solar wind that was coming prior to this situation, there was a 4.4 earthquake east-southeast of Lacombe, Oregon. In fact, the USGS actually upgraded this earthquake from a 4.2 to a 4.4. Now, what's interesting is that Oregon does get plenty of earthquakes, but they are rarely felt. Now, take a look at how many people felt this earthquake this morning. Over 4,000 reports just on the USGS site alone. And as we jump over to Volcano Discovery, that doesn't include all the other earthquakes or sonic booms or reports of the ground shaking in the eastern half of the United States. That is a significant amount of reports you're looking at right there. And then, of course, our west coast is always lit up. But that 4.4 in Oregon, very significant earthquake. Checking out the Enlil chart, you can see a small CME was launched, but it is going to miss Earth off to the side. You can see a little bit right there, may clip the edge of it as we move into October 10th and 11th. But the main concern here, once again, is the fact that these are now turning directly towards Earth. So picture Earth right in the dead center of the sun. That is where we were lined up. So basically assume that we are right at the equator of the sun. So the closer that these sunspots are to that area, the higher the chance that the solar wind that does leave these, whether it's a CME or filament release, that solar wind and those solar particles will be launched directly at Earth, which in turn again will affect that magnetic field. Here is a chart showing a depiction of a solar flare. So let's say this eruption takes place with those sunspots that are Earth facing. That's going to launch that solar wind towards Earth, at times nearly 600 kilometers per second, which is an incredible amount of speed. And then we have the Earth's magnetic field, which protects us from that, and UV rays and things of that nature. But again, it causes stress on that magnetic field and is now known in the scientific community that powerful eruptions on the sun may trigger earthquakes. We've seen it happen time and time again, that some of the largest earthquakes we see take place while a strong stream of solar wind is impacting the Earth's magnetic field. So there's no denying the fact that this is an actual science now. It was argued and debated for years and years, but the data has shown over and over again that it is a direct relation to each other. The sun's energy absolutely affects the Earth's crust, and that's not all. I say this all the time. We get power outages. We can experience things like internet outages, cell phone service, and in a previous video, we even spoke about this, that not only did solar eruptions affect the rescue efforts of Hurricane Irma due to radio blackouts, but even more interesting, but the same exact thing happened during the response for Hurricane Ian. I'll link the video in the description box of where we talked about this the other day, so you can get some more details on that. I went a little more in depth than I'm going right now, but this is just a heads up about the earthquake watch. And another thing that's interesting is both of those storms were the letter I on the list of hurricane names. All right, my friends, I want to thank you all for taking the time to watch this video. Keep an eye on these earthquake charts as well as the SDO cameras on the sun, because once we get those eruptions, like we've been seeing for over the past 2 weeks now, it takes about 2 days for that energy to reach Earth, and then that is when you're going to see the crust displacement. All right, everybody, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Shout out to Canada. I will see you all in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye. Stop right there, my friends. If you have not already, click that subscribe button and don't forget to hit the bell icon. Click all and you will get all notifications from this channel. And trust me, you won't be disappointed.